All right, everyone. Happy Monday. Welcome to the 187 District Court. These are the rules. If you are an inmate, do not use your chat box. Do not try to pick up dates. This is not the Bachelor or the Bachelorette. If you use that chat box, you will be sent back and we will see you when we're able to see you. Everyone else, do not move around while you're on Zoom. Find a place and remain stationary, because when you move around, people tend to get nauseous. So find a quiet place. For all of you who are Zooming from different locations, you are actually in the 187 District Court. So do not drive while you're Zooming. If you behave inappropriately on the Zoom, you will be required to appear in court. To all of the attorneys, your name will be called in the order of appearance. So you will know what order you're in when I call your name. If you want to Zoom out and go to a different court, you can. However, if your name is called while you're Zooming, you will be placed at the end of the line. I'm going to open the breakout rooms. When I open the breakout rooms, it will invite you to a breakout room. Do not, I repeat, do not go to a breakout room unless I specifically call your name and assign you to that breakout room. The other thing, the court coordinator is online. She's listed as Ferguson Coordinator. To the attorneys, if you have an agreement, send a message to her by chat, letting her know what your agreement is. If your client is on bond, she will need your client's email address so she can get the appropriate paperwork to your client and to you. So this is the order of attorneys. Albert Charez, Albert Gutierrez, Robert Maurer, Bud Ridenour, Milton Butler, David Garcia, John Perez, Adrian Perez, Sean Serene, Mark Darling, Justin Fox. Is there any attorney whose name that I've missed? Okay, so Mr. Reyes, you're muted. I just sent you a request to unmute. Could you unmute for me, please?
Yes, ma'am. Could you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now. Is there a reason you're not wearing a mask?
They told me when I first got it, when I spoke to you, to take it off. Do you want me to place it back on, ma'am?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. I sure will. 1 second, okay?
And you're not doing it to protect yourself. You're doing it to protect others, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Albert Charez, who do you have?
I have Jose Cisneros, Your Honor.
All right, and my understanding that's a PSI for sentencing, is that correct?
That's right, Your Honor.
Okay, just give me one moment.
And Judge,
yes.
Judge, we have an interpreter coming in for that case as well.
All right, so we'll be with you as soon as we get an interpreter. Mr. Charez, do you speak Spanish?
I do, Your Honor.
Do you need to speak with your client and go over the paperwork with him?
I can, yes.
All right, have you received the PSI report?
I have to check. I have not as of 20 minutes ago.
All right, Rebecca, could you send him the PSI report, please? And Mr. Charez, if you'll put your email address in the chat box to Rebecca Reyes. And state, yes. Have you received the PSI report? State.
Sorry, Judge, I am checking. Yes.
All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 1, Albert.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And Mr. Cisneros, if you go to breakout room number 1, please. And to all the attorneys, the prosecutors have the ability to move throughout the breakout rooms. So be patient and they will get to you and get to a breakout room to confer with you. All right, the next person up is Albert Gutierrez.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Jesus Posada Mendez.
All right, and
Um,
it's criminal trial division.
No, Judge, it's 701.
Okay. And you said Jesus Mendez?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I'll send you to a breakout room to confer. I see you're here for a motion to alter and amend bond conditions.
Correct, Your Honor. Just a slight amendment. We'd already made one that everyone had agreed on. We just want to move it to tracking only if possible.
All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 2. A prosecutor from criminal trial division will meet you there to confer.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Robert Maurer.
Judge, I have Natalie Nicole Valdez. It's family violence MTR.
All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 3. A prosecutor will meet you there. Bud Ridenour.
Good morning, Your Honor. I have Raymond Garcia. It's a family violence case.
All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 4. A prosecutor will meet you there.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Milton Butler, who do you have?
I have a Romaldo Martinez. This was supposed to be a hearing for some pretrial violations. I was just appointed 8 days ago. I tried to contact him with the number that I was given, and the person that answered the phone said there's no one lives here by that name.
All right, and what is the full name, please?
Romaldo Medina Martinez.
All right, if you want, I give everyone till 10:30. Maybe he will show. If you want to zoom out and zoom back in.
You mean show in person?
No,
I don't know.
just-
I don't know if he's even aware of this Zoom hearing.
No, we send things out to the last known location, so we'll see if he shows. Sometimes they show up in court.
Okay, I'll
All right.
zoom back. I'll zoom back in later.
All right. David Garcia.
Good morning, Judge. I've got Angelica Torres. She's got one of each. I believe they're both second degree, so I guess family. Actually, could you check and see if she's on?
Is there an Angelica Torres here?
I'm right here.
Okay,
Yes, she's
great.
here.
If you can put me in a breakout room with her, Judge, that'd be great.
Okay, just one moment. I'm sorry, Angelica Torres, where are you?
I'm right here.
All right, David, I will send you to breakout room number 5.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, the next person is John Perez. John Perez. John Perez going once. John Perez going twice. All right, next.
Sorry about that.
Yes, who do you have?
I have a Kevin Vallejo. It's an MTR.
Is it criminal trial division or family violence?
Should be family violence, Judge.
All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 6. The prosecutor will meet you there.
Thank you, Judge.
Adrian Perez.
Hi, Judge. Good morning. I have Tito Hernandez. It's supposed to be a plea on a drug case. He informed me this morning he's not going to make court.
Sorry, what?
He informed me this morning that he's not going to make court. He's having, frankly, he's having health problems. He says that he's going to be checking himself in to Haven for Hope. He texted me this morning. A few
Haven
minutes
for
ago.
Hope is not a hospital.
I think he's having drug withdrawals, Your Honor, for whatever.
All right, I'll give him till 10:30.
I've told him he needs to get here. I'll do what I can.
All right,
I also-
thank you.
I also have Richard Small. It's a motion to adjudicate on a third-degree drug case.
All right, I'll send you to breakout room. Just one moment. I'll send you to breakout room number 7.
Yes, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Sean Serene.
Good morning, Your Honor. I have Jordan Diaz. We are set for sentencing. This is on a PSI. We have reviewed the PSI last Friday. We were able to get it in advance of this court docket. Just a couple of things to maybe dispute. Nothing too crazy, but
Okay.
we're ready to go whenever you are, Judge.
All right, thank you. Mark Darling.
Good morning, Your Honor. This morning for Jacob Rodriguez, I have a motion to set bond.
Is it criminal trial division or CTD? I'm sorry, or family violence?
It is a criminal trial division.
All right, I'll send you to a breakout room. They'll confer with you. Breakout
Okay.
room number 8.
Thank you. And then the only other thing is I have an MTR on Ryan Reyes, criminal trial division also. So can I just
Yes.
talk to the same prosecutor, I guess, or?
Sure, I'll send you to breakout room number 8.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, the next person is Justin Fawkes.
Yes, Judge, I have an MTR, so I'd just like to confer with the state.
What is the MTR? What's the person's name?
Jose Rubalcaba, and he's on, Judge.
Criminal trial division of family violence.
Criminal trial.
All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 9. A prosecutor will meet you there.
Thank you.
Robert Maurer, you're back.
Yes, Judge, I think we have a resolution. If I can talk with Natalie Valdez in a breakout room, we should be able to resolve this MTR pretty quickly.
All right, if you go back to breakout room number 3, and Natalie, if you go to breakout room number 3. And to the interpreter, Arlene, I'm going to send you to a breakout room. The attorney's in breakout room number 1.
Okay,
And I'll
Your
send you
Honor.
number 1 with him and his client.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Is the state ready on the sentencing for Sean Serene's client, Jordan Diaz? State?
On who is on that case?
It's Jordan Brown is who I've been working with, Marcus.
I can do it. I just need a minute to look at the
Sure.
PSI.
Okay, Marcus, I'm gonna send you something that I sent to Jordan.
Okay.
All right, David Garcia, you're back.
I am, Judge. I just need to confer with the prosecutor real quickly. And I believe it was somebody from family violence.
All right. Mr. Garcia, if you'll go to breakout room number 10. And could
Thank you,
someone
Judge.
from family violence go to breakout room number 10, please? Let me know when you're ready, Marcus.
I'm ready, Judge.
All right, Brenna, are you ready?
I'm ready.
If everyone who's not a part of this hearing, I'm going to need you to mute yourself, please. Court is calling 2020 CR 11333, State of Texas versus Jordan Diaz. If we're going to have parties announced for the record, please, for the state,
Marcus Sanders.
for the defense.
Sean Serene for Jordan Diaz.
All right, Mr. Diaz entered a plea on a misdemeanor theft. The state was recommending deferred adjudication. However, the defendant was to be reviewed for a misdemeanor drug court program. Does anyone know? Rebecca, do you know the update on the misdemeanor drug court program?
Judge,
Go ahead, Marcus.
she forwarded me the information from them. They said that they would accept the case, and then they had recommendations that he be released to ITP, and they wanted him to complete the 90-day treatment, and that it should be zero tolerance for any aggressive behavior.
Okay. All right, it should be noted that this, the defendant entered a plea by video. We're proceeding by video with the sentencing because of the pandemic. Any objection from the state or the defense?
No objection.
No objections from the defense, Your Honor.
All right, just one moment. I'm sorry, Brenda, I don't have internet connections.
Is it a little globe at the bottom or the bars?
It's a globe, and for some reason, it's still trying to connect.
Okay.
Everyone, just give me a moment, please.
Did you choose the setting, the Wi-Fi setting?
Yes.
Okay.
I think everything is working slow today for some reason. So let me see if it's there now. All right, it is not connecting.
Okay.
That's okay. All right, I'm sorry, for the state?
No objection.
All right, and who's representing the state?
Marcus Sanders.
And for the defense?
Sean Serene.
All right, and are you Mr. Diaz?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report?
Yes, Judge.
Are there any objections to the PSI report?
None from the state.
We just have a few clarifications, Your Honor. There were just some statements in there that we just want to make sure the record is clear. There were some statements from the complaining witness, generally speaking, about Mr. Diaz breaking into places. That's untrue. He does accept responsibility for this incident, this offense. There was also an indication in there, something about how this theft might have scared his daughter, the complainant's daughter, which would be Mr. Diaz's sister. We dispute that as well. I don't know that those two things are particularly relevant to the court's determination, but in the event that they are, we wanted to factually dispute those things. Mr. Diaz has been here for about 6 months, day for day since September. And anytime he's been upfront with probation about his drug history, drug use, that sort of thing. He is asking the court to follow this agreement. I don't know if the court is inclined to go with any of the inpatient recommendations, but if it is, I think that his being in for 6 months, day for day, and this being reduced to a misdemeanor are just two things to consider in the court's ultimate pronouncement of sentence. And that's all we have, Judge.
All right, Mr. Diaz, is there anything you wish to say?
I'm very thankful to be here. I'm very thankful for this opportunity to finally come to an agreement. I would appreciate the probation. I think it'll help me a lot. I have honestly no objections to how anything has been conducted. I just thank y'all for the opportunity.
All right, when you receive opportunities, you have to take advantage of them. You understand?
Absolutely.
I've read the PSI report, and in the PSI report, it appears that several people have tried to help you. At some point, your past history has nothing to do with what has happened in your past and everything to do with the bad choices you're making. You understand?
Yes, I do.
All right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to follow the agreement. I'm going to refer him to misdemeanor drug court, and misdemeanor, he's going to remain in custody. And Mr. Serene, if you will go to misdemeanor drug court and let them know that he's been sentenced. So misdemeanor drug court can add whatever other conditions they deem suitable. If they think he should be in some type of inpatient treatment, then that's up to them to decide. So just contact them today and let them know that he's been sentenced today.
Will do, Your Honor. I believe that's County Court 11.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Will do.
So it's going to be $1,000 fine. That will be probated. 2 years deferred adjudication. Referral. To misdemeanor drug court. The ATSE course. And it says here, no harmful or injurious contact with Eduardo Diaz. Mr. Diaz, might I suggest until you prove yourself stable, maybe you shouldn't have contact, but I'll follow your agreement that was reached for the no harmful or injurious contact with Mr. Diaz. Okay. There'll be regular Zoom reporting until accepted
So
into drug court.
I have a question, Your Honor.
Yes.
You said I would have to remain in custody.
Mm-hmm.
Why should I have to remain in custody? I've been here for 6 months. I'm ready for the probation. I've been in here. I've had plenty of time.
Because you've been transferred to misdemeanor drug court. And so the judge in misdemeanor drug court is going to be over your probation.
All right.
And I'm going to let them decide whatever conditions they want to decide for you. That's why you're remaining in custody. So they will put you on their docket. They should put you on their docket sometime this week. And then that will be your probation officer.
All right. Thank you very much, Your Honor.
You're welcome. And I'm going to say proof of employment within 30 days of release. And I will do regular and random UAs. And again, the conditions that I'm setting for you, they're going to give you different conditions, what they think is appropriate for you to be successful. Do you understand?
I do understand.
Is there any restitution in this case? Anyone?
In the PSI, the complainant indicated that he would not be seeking restitution. I think it's on page 4 or 5.
That's
State.
correct. That's correct, Judge.
Okay. If there is nothing, is there anything else from either side with regards to sentencing?
Nothing from the.
Yes. Rebecca?
On one of the emails from the misdemeanor court, it asks that to be released to ITP.
No, what I'm going to.
Okay.
Yes.
Just to the misdemeanor drug court then?
Yes, if you will send him to misdemeanor drug court and let them put whatever conditions for him, but he is to remain in custody until transferred to misdemeanor drug court.
I just wanted to clarify. Thank you.
Oh, no problem. And Rebecca, I'm not sure how misdemeanor drug court do their conditions, but usually what normally happens is misdemeanor drug court will get, well, drug court or treatment court will get the individual and then set their own conditions.
Okay.
All right, if there's nothing else with regards to sentencing, Mr. Diaz, I'm going to show you a document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement and because I followed your plea bargain agreement and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
I do, Your Honor.
All right, the only other time that I should be hearing from you is if you successfully completed misdemeanor drug court and you're saying, Judge, come to my graduation, I'm doing better in my life. But if they send you back here on a motion to revoke, that tells me that you haven't done what you needed to do over there. Do you understand?
I do, Your Honor.
Now, your attorney has told me, we can go off the record, Brenner. Your attorney has told me that you've been in custody for 6 months.
Yes.
And I know you're ready to get out of jail. And I know in your heart, you're like, I'm going to do everything perfectly. I've learned my lesson. People always say that. So I want you to hold on to your feeling of being in custody and not wanting to be in custody whenever you think that you're about to do something you shouldn't do. Every decision you make from here on out, you need to be asking yourself, is this a decision that could send me back to the Bexar County Jail? And if the answer is yes, then you shouldn't be doing it. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
All right, I'm going to send you to a breakout room with your attorney with probation. They'll go over conditions with you. I'll send you all to breakout room number 3. Let me just find you on the screen.
Your Honor, may I be excused after I join the breakout room? And
Yes, but after you, after she finishes with conditions with your client needs to come back to the main room to be excused.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Anyone who's back from the breakout room?
Judge, I'm back. We have an agreement on Natalie Valdez. It's an MTR.
All right, just let Norma know.
Okay.
And then who was the person? Let me see if they're still in the breakout room with. Yes, they're still in the breakout room with the interpreter. All right, Adrian Perez.
I need my client in a breakout room, Your Honor, Richard Small.
All right, Mr. Small, where are you? I'm going to send you to breakout room number 7 with your attorney. And Adrian, if you'll go back to 7.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, John Perez.
Yes, Judge, you need to go into a breakout room with Mr. Vallejo.
If you'll go back to number 6, Mr. Vallejo, if you'll go to breakout room number 6, please.
Yes, ma'am.
And Robert Maurer, do you need to be in a breakout room with your client to go over the paperwork?
Judge, based on the agreement, there shouldn't be any paperwork. The recommendation is plead true and continue with ISP.
Oh, no, she has to have paperwork.
Which paperwork do I need to do?
She's going to need a consent to plea by video from Norma.
Okay.
All right. So I'll send you, you were in breakout room number 3.
Yes.
If you could go back to breakout room number 3, please. I'm sorry, not 3. I'll send you to breakout room number 11.
Okay, I don't have the paperwork yet from Norma.
All right, if you'll send into a chat box the paperwork, what your agreement is to Norma, and she'll need your client's email address.
Oh, okay, that would help. All right, I'll do that.
Thank you. All right, David Garcia, you're back.
Yes, Judge, I conferred with the state and my client. Unfortunately, there's still a lab report that hasn't come in. So we're going to need about a 30-day reset so that the state might possibly make an offer on that case.
All right, who's your client?
It is Angelica Torres, and I believe she's still in a breakout room. So if we can get a 30-day reset, I'll go back and y'all can send me back to the breakout room.
All right, if you could go back to that breakout room and have her come to the main room, please.
Sure.
Well, no, hold up. She should be here. Angelica Torres, where are you? It doesn't show her in the breakout room. Just one moment. I'll be right back. All right, so what is the issue? What issue are you saying you need, Mr. Garcia?
On the drug case, Judge, they have not received the lab report, and so they need a 30-day reset to get the lab report.
Yes, Judge, she has picked up a new drug case about 5 days ago, so we don't have the lab report back, and realistically, it's probably going to be a first-degree drug case. So I need to review the labs.
Okay. Norma, on Ms. Torres, can we have a 30-day reset, please?
We can bring her back on April 27th.
Thank you.
All right, we'll see you back on April 27th. You and your client are excused.
Thank you,
Thank
Judge.
you.
You're welcome.
Judge, when you have a second, can you send inmate Reyes into breakout room 8 to speak with his attorney, please?
What's the last name?
Reyes.
All right, Mr. Reyes, if you go to breakout room number 8, please.
Judge, also, can you send iPhone to a breakout room and I'll join him?
Which breakout room is iPhone going to?
12.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Let me see who's back. Okay. Laura Lefton.
Good morning, Your Honor. How are you today?
Oh, great. Who do you have?
I have Adrian Tellis. If I could go to a breakout room with Jordan maybe and speak to him about the MTR, that would be great. He should, Mr. Tellis should be in here. I texted with him this morning.
Okay. I will send you to breakout room number 13.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. All right, the next person up is Douglas Kepner. Douglas Kepner, yes.
Hi, Judge. Good morning. We're still waiting for some paperwork, but we should have a plea done this morning once we get it all.
Who's your client?
Dustin Lott.
What paperwork are you waiting on?
The plea paperwork.
All right, is this criminal trial division?
This is a recall from last week.
I'm working on the paperwork right now.
Okay, thank you. Norma, do you have all the information on that plea?
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry, Judge. Did you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Sorry.
Albert Gutierrez is like, I'm in breakout room number 2 waiting for a prosecutor. So it's family violence.
I'll get with him in a minute, Judge, if no one else is available.
Mr. Salazar, 187. Unmute yourself. What did I tell you about using a chat box?
I don't know. I'm sorry about that.
No, don't say I don't know, because you used a chat box and I told you do not chat. So what don't you understand?
I'm sorry, Miss.
No, don't apologize, because you knew what you were doing when I told you you were not allowed to do that.
Oh.
So why are you breaking rules? Do you want to go back to your cell?
No, ma'am.
Albert, someone from family violence will be meeting you there. I forgot to inform you this morning that these rooms are like when you go visit the doctor. When you get to that room, you're not seeing the doctor. It's just to check your blood pressure and check your weight. So that's what's happening right now. We have, as you can tell, we have more defense attorneys than we have prosecutors. So as soon as one available, they will come to that room.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Albert Charles, you're back. I think he's frozen in time.
Sorry about that. I was still checking on the PSI to come in.
Oh, you haven't received it?
Not yet. I sent an email to Ms. Reyes and one to Ms. Ferguson. I don't know if there's a backlog or something.
All right, what is your client's full name?
Jose Cisneros.
All right, let me see if I can send it to you. If you'll put your email address in the chat box.
I sent it to everyone and I sent it to Ms. Reyes and to Ms. Ferguson. I can resend it to you.
Yes, please do.
Judge, we're back on Ruvalcaba.
All right, just one moment, please.
I just sent it.
All right, let me see, because for some reason our emails are working slow. Everyone, just give me a moment, please. And let me see if I can get this to you.
Hi, Judge. I'm sorry. I hope I'm not interrupting. No one
Yes,
joined me.
just give me a moment, please. All right, it should be coming right now. Albert, let me know if you received it.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Yes, Ms. Lufton.
No one joined me in the breakout room. So,
All right, so here's the thing. This is like a doctor's office. So when I send you to a breakout room, the prosecutors have the ability to move throughout breakout rooms, but there are a limited number of prosecutors.
okay.
So this is like a doctor's office. So you've been sent to room 13. You're not seeing a doctor. It's just the check, the weight, and the blood pressure.
Gotcha. I didn't realize that. Okay.
Okay, no
I will
problem.
go back. Okay.
Thank you. All right, Justin Fox.
How do I go back?
Yes, Judge, the state's going to withdraw their MTR.
All right, is that correct, State?
Yes, Judge, I sent Rebecca an email, so whenever she processes that, I'll get signed. But if you're willing to excuse defense and defendant, I don't think there's anything that will cause a change in that evaluation.
Okay, let me see here. Okay. Mr. Rubalcaba, where are you?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Yes, the next time there's a motion to revoke that's filed against you, you need to appear in court. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, if there is nothing else, then you are excused and your attorney is excused.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. All right, John Pettis.
Yes, Judge, we have an agreement with the state on the matter of Kevin Vallejo. We just need to.
All right, have you put in the chat box to Norma Ferguson what the agreement is?
That's where I'm trying to remember. I've been out for 3 weeks on paternity leave. I'm forgetting everything. I'm trying to.
See, there
Yeah.
you go. So you'll need Mr. Vallejo back in room 6. Mr. Vallejo, if you'll go back into room 6 with your attorney, please.
Okay.
I'll message Norman, Judge. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else back from the breakout room?
Yeah, that'll work. Yeah.
Adrian, you're back.
Yes, we're gonna have a deal on mine. I'm just waiting for Jordan to send me paperwork. They're recommending that he be continued.
All right, if you can put that into the chat box to Norma, please.
Norma, okay.
Adrian, I got it. I'm doing the paperwork right now.
Okay, great. I'll stand by. Thank you.
And Mauer, you should have your paperwork in your email.
That's a twist. I know. Expect you don't be doing it.
Yeah, you uploaded it to Instagram. I would like to challenge the court's jurisdiction. Court lacks jurisdiction.
And Norma, I put a message in your chat box.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Mark Darling, did you have a chance to confer with the state?
Yes, Judge, thank you. On Ryan Reyes, we have, there's Alexandra. Alexandra and I, I'm informing her at the same time as you. We're taking her offer, and so he's gonna go ahead and enter a plea of true.
All right, you need to send that in the chat box to Norma Ferguson, please.
Okay, I'll send her the terms, proposed terms, subject to your approval, of course. And then I don't know on my second case if Jacob Rodriguez made an appearance. He's aware of this. I hope he's there. It's about a bond thing, so I'll send that to Norma.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Judge, Mr. Reyes is in jail.
All right.
Mark has two clients. Jacob Rodriguez is the client we don't know if he should. If he was BF originally, I think that's why we needed to set a bond to begin with.
Roger Perez, you're here?
Judge, yes, I've been hunting my client down with no luck, Your Honor.
All right, I'll give everyone till 10:30.
Okay, can I report back at 10:30
Yes.
and tell you my luck or no luck?
Yes.
Thank you, Judge. May I be excused?
You're welcome. Yes. Robert Maury, you're back.
Yes, ma'am. I signed it. I'm just trying to see if I don't see my client on unless she got off to sign her paperwork because she was streaming on her phone.
All right, what is your client's name, please?
Natalie Nicole Valdez.
Let me see if she's here.
Looks like room 11.
Oh, that's okay. I'll jump in there, Judge, make sure she signed the paperwork and we'll come back over.
All right, I'll send you to number 11.
Thank you.
Judge, can you send Albert's client to breakout room number 2? It's Jesus Mendez. I think he's under Jesus's iPhone.
Okay. Mr. Jesus iPhone, if you go to breakout room number 2, please.
Hello, I'm sorry. Which inmate are you waiting for?
I'm sorry, I can't see your video.
I'm sorry. Let me see where it's. I'm sorry, Judge Boyd.
No problem.
Which inmate are you waiting for?
It should be Starks.
Oh, okay. Starks. Okay, let me check the list real quick and see where he's out.
All right, I believe it's a female. It's Ayanna Starks.
Oh, okay. She would be at our annex. Let me call our annex and see what's the ETA on her because she's
Corporal, I
Yes,
know
ma'am.
they're in Alpha Delta. They have a unit up there at the main.
Yeah, okay. I'm sorry. I've been running around like crazy. Hold on. I have this gentleman going off on his attorney. Give me just one moment and I'll get her on.
No problem. Take your time.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, you're welcome. Robert Maurer.
You should have the paperwork, Judge. She signed it. We should be ready to go.
All right, let me see if it's in my box. Did she forward it?
She said she did. She hit the complete at the end, so that she finished it. Should be there.
All right, let me see if I have something. Norma, is there any way you can check and see where the paperwork is on Natalie Valdez?
Yes, ma'am. Judge, it's with the defendant.
So this is what we're going to do. Robert, let's have your client go to a breakout room, and I'm going to go to that breakout room to see what's going on with the paperwork.
Okay, thanks, Judge. I know I couldn't tell her what to do.
All right, let me see here. Ms. Valdez, I'm going to send you, let me see where you are. If you can go to breakout room number 10 with your attorney, please.
Norma, I'm sorry. Do I need anything else besides the consent for video conference for an MTR?
That's it.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you.
Did your client sign it?
I'm going to get him to sign it right now. I just was making sure I wasn't missing anything. I'll just be a minute. Okay. Thank you.
Norma, I'm done with Mr. Diaz.
Okay, Rebecca, thank you.
Robert, it just came to me. So I think she was finally able to do it. All right, it's done. All right, who's the prosecutor who's on
It
this?
was Joe Ray, but anybody can do it. It's going to be a plea of true to number 5 and I think number 15 with the recommendation of.
Oh, Joe Ray is here. All right, if everyone who's not a part of this, if you could please mute for me. All right, the court is calling 2019 CR 12220, State of Texas versus Natalie Valdez. If we're gonna have parties announced for the record, please, for the state.
Joe Ray Garcia for the state.
For the defense.
Robert Maurer for defendant, Your Honor.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Is there any objection from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any objection from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Are you Miss Natalie Valdez?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you sign a document entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video?
Yes, I did.
And did you go over that document with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, I did, ma'am.
And do you consent to appearing by video?
Yes, I do.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Ms. Valdez, I'm going to show you a document entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Natalie Valdez who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2019 CR 12220 for the offense of continuous violence against family on February 25th, 2020 for a period of 3 years? Is that you?
That's correct.
State.
Violated condition number 5. In Bexar County, Texas, the defendant, Natalie Valdez, did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of August, September, November, and December of 2020 in violation of condition number 5.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
State.
Violated condition number 15G on or about the 21st day of October 2020 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant, Natalie Valdez, did then and there fail to attend, comply with all the rules, regulations, instructions, and financial agreements as directed by the court and or supervision officer and or the head of authorized personnel of the following counseling education program, state accredited battering intervention and prevention program in violation of number 15G.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
State.
State waives the remaining allegations, Your Honor.
Any objections to the state's waivers?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Valdez, Ms. Valdez, did you understand by pleading true to violation of 5 and 15G, the court could find it true, grant the motion, and find you guilty, not grant you community supervision, and sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violations 5 and 15G?
I'm sorry, what was that, ma'am? It was cutting
Knowing
off.
that, do you still wish to plead true to violations of conditions 5 and 15G?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, court will find 5 and 15G true. Is there an agreement?
Yes, Judge. We ask that you deny the motion, alter and amend conditions, adding the ISP program.
Is there the agreement?
Yes, Your Honor, it is.
All right, Ms. Valdez, you want to explain to me what is the difficulty? Why are you not reporting? Why have you not complied with the BIPP course? What's going on?
At the time, ma'am, it was during the pandemic when I first got out of jail, and I had trouble finding a job, and I also didn't have my ID, so I couldn't sign up for the course, and I didn't have the funds as well.
And what about reporting?
I just didn't have a phone at the time, ma'am. I tried to go in person to the probation office, and you couldn't walk in there, so it was very hard for me to get in contact with anybody.
All right, look, let me explain something. The court is not going to tolerate you not reporting. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you employed now?
No, ma'am, but I am getting financial help from my significant other. I'm pregnant currently, so he's helping me out right now.
I mean, what does that even mean? When you say he's helping you out, so you're not working.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
is he going to be the person who's paying for your classes and paying for your fees?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because here's the thing. You're the person who's responsible for doing these classes, not your husband. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So if that fee is not paid, then there's going to be a problem. If
Yes,
you don't
ma'am.
report, that's going to be a problem. All right,
Yes,
I'll
ma'am.
deny the motion. Alternate amend conditions to include intensive supervision. Well, you know what? Strike that. I'm going to do weekly reporting by Zoom or in person for 60 days. And if you're given a drug test today, or is it going to be clean?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so I'm going to ask for a drug test today. By 3 p.m. And probation, I'm going to want field visits random, but it needs to be at least once per month. Is there anything else you need, Ms. Valdez, to be successful?
No, ma'am. I think now I'll really get my stuff together now that I'm bringing another life into this world. I see things a lot differently, and I appreciate the opportunity to make it right.
Okay, let me see. All right, I had previously ordered field visits. Probation, is there a reason why there were not field visits done on Ms. Valdez?
Let me check the file.
Because I'm going to want to make sure that those are done. And if field visits were done, then they would have known where she was, and we wouldn't have perhaps we wouldn't have the failure to report.
There was an attempt to field visit in January. There was an aggressive dog in the front of the house, so they could not exit their vehicle.
All right. Do you have aggressive dogs at your house?
No, ma'am. That must have been one of the neighbor's dogs. He always gets into the yard.
I'm sorry, what? What did you say?
I don't have aggressive dogs, ma'am. It must have been one of the neighbor's dogs.
No,
I
they
don't have
went to
aggressive
your
dogs, ma'am.
house. So unless we're living in a world
Yes,
that's
ma'am.
the Mad Max world where dogs are running freely and living in everyone else's yard, I'm trying to figure out, were there dogs in your yard or not?
It must have been one of the neighbor's dogs, ma'am, because they always get in somehow. They're kind of wild.
Okay, so here's
They
the
keep them
thing.
in. Usually they keep them in the yard, in their yard, but they do get out.
All right, this is the thing. Number one, and we can go off the record, Brenna. They're going to be field visits at your house. So there should not be any aggressive dogs in your yard to stop them from doing their field visits. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Number two, if you're bringing a child into this world, you need to make sure there are no aggressive dogs around the child. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am. I understand.
All right, I'm going to send you to, we'll close the record. If there's nothing else, I'm going to send you to a breakout room with probation in breakout room number 2. And Mr. Maurer, you are excused.
Thank you, Judge.
And Rebecca, if you could go to breakout room number 2, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Adrian,
Yes,
you
Judge.
doing paperwork?
I think we're done. It's an MTR, and Norma said we just have the consent to do video conference, and he signed that. So we're ready to go when you are, Your Honor.
All right, let me see if I have it.
Okay.
Interrupt. Kevin, if you can join me in breakout room 6.
Okay.
Who's joining you in 6? Is that a defendant?
Yes, Judge. You sent him in there and he never went. So I only got the documents to review over.
All right, no problem.
Judge Albert Gutierrez, may I make a short announcement on Jesus Mendez?
Yes, just give me one moment, please. Yes.
We were dropping the motion for now, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, if there's nothing else, then you and your client are excused.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
All right, you're welcome.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
You too.
All right, if everyone will just give me a moment. Miss Abrams, you are back. And Albert Charis and Mr. Cisneros are back.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, let me add you so we can turn on the interpretation function.
Señor Cisneros?
All right, are we set to go, Ms. Abrams? Yes, I can hear you.
Hello?
All right.
Okay.
Has it been selected, Ms. Abrams, or no? All right, Norma, could you have the deputy to select the Spanish channel for Mr. Cisneros?
Yes, ma'am.
And Rev number 4, who is that with the creepy doll? The person with the creepy doll and the cat that's running around. What is your name, please?
Dustin.
Sí, ya la escuché.
Dustin what?
Dustin Lott.
All right, just give us a moment.
See.
All right, great. Everyone, if you're not a part of this hearing, I'm going to ask that you please mute yourself. Who's the prosecutor on Mr. Cisneros' case?
Marcus. Should be Alberto.
Oh, it's Alberto?
Yeah. Chavez.
Okay.
I'm here, Your Honor.
Oh, Albert Charis. Okay, I'm sorry.
And Judge, I'll have one
Ay,
witness.
sí. ¿Ya me escuchó? Ok, gracias. Thank you.
All right, the court is calling 2018 CR 11302 State of Texas versus Jose Cisneros. Could I have parties announced for the record, please, for the state,
Marcus Sanders.
for the defense?
Albert Chidas.
All right, and we have an interpreter here. If I could have the interpreter, if you could raise your right hand for me, please. Yes. Do you solemnly swear or affirm you will faithfully translate from English into Spanish and from Spanish into English, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand. All right, on February 26th, Mr. Cisneros entered a plea of no contest. The court found there was sufficient evidence to find the defendant guilty. However, the court deferred finding of guilt as the defendant had applied for deferred adjudication. According to the plea bargaining agreement, the state proceeded on count 1. Punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 15 years in the prison. There's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon. State opposes the application for deferred adjudication. And there's to be restitution to Harold Newman. At the time that the defendant entered his plea, the defendant entered his plea by video because of the pandemic. Any objections to us proceeding by video? State.
No objection.
Defense.
No objection, Your Honor.
Mr. Cisneros, do you have any objection to the sentencing taking place by video?
No, es que no, yo nunca he estado en una corte, no sé qué significa eso. Sí.
No, Mr. Cisneros, I want you to listen to the question that I'm asking of you.
Mhm.
We are taking this sentencing by video. Do you understand?
Sí. Sí.
Do you have any objection to us hearing this sentencing by video?
Sí, está bien. Sí, está bien.
All right, have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report?
Yes, Judge.
Yes,
Are
Your
there,
Honor.
are there any objections to the PSI report? State?
No objections.
Defense?
I think it says that he is not motivated for treatment. My client is saying that he is motivated to do whatever the court asks if he's granted probation.
All right, state you are opposed to the defendant's application.
Yes, Judge, and we have one witness.
All right, who is your witness?
Harold Newman. He's under iPhone. Mr. Newman, can you turn on your camera?
All right, Mr. Newman, if you could raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
You can lower your hand. State?
Thank you, Judge. Mr. Newman, you're the victim in this case, correct?
Yes.
And there were two co-defendants, this defendant, Jose Cisneros, and his son, Samuel Cisneros. Is that right? And this often happened about 4 years ago?
Yes.
When, I guess, the judge is familiar with the facts of the case, I'd like to talk a few minutes about this defendant's part in the robbery. What all did this defendant do as far as the robbery goes?
Well, it started out, he was on site unbeknownst to me, and he attacked me unknowingly. In other words, just out of the blue.
How did he attack you unknowingly?
He was standing in a staircase. He was upstairs. I had my back to the staircase, observing some work that was being performed in a newly constructed home that I was building. And nobody was supposed to be upstairs, but I heard a noise. I turned around, and that's when I was struck the first time. And I was struck directly straight forward with an aluminum stilt that a tape and floater would use to walk around on, and shearing my teeth off. And then I was hit on the side of the head with it, and then hit again on the other side of the head, which I deflected. And then Mr. Cisneros rushed me, jumped on top of me, and held me down, face down, while his son tied me up with electrical wire, tied my feet up with electrical wire, and then locked the doors to the house, went out the garage and backed their van up to the garage and loaded up his son's tools. His son loaded up his tools, also stole the generator and various other things. There was some other items that were missing too. And then Mr. Cisneros took my car keys and my cell phone, and the son did something, they hit him on site and took off and left me there.
Okay. And they took a generator that belonged to you?
Yes.
When you were struck in the face, you said that it sheared off some of your teeth?
Yes, it sheared off 3 of my front teeth at the gum line, split my lip clean through, the bottom lip all the way through, and another cut on the other of the side of my face, and cracked a tooth, a 4th tooth. Yes.
Yes, sir. As a result of that, did you have to have some sort of emergency procedure?
Yes, the ambulance took me to the hospital. They did a CAT scan because I was hit in the head, which was swelling, and of course my teeth were missing. My hands were actually very swollen for defensive when he swung the thing. Couldn't really drive, was in no shape. The ambulance took me to the hospital. I did have to have my lip sewn up. Dr. Albright actually did that that night about 8 p.m. And then I did have to have temporary teeth made. And then I had porcelain teeth after that put in.
Okay, and you said that an ambulance took you to the emergency room?
Correct.
Did you receive a bill for that?
Yes, I did.
How much was that?
The bill, most of the bills I have right here, it was approximately $1,675.
Okay. And is that something that you'll have to pay out of pocket, as in it won't be covered by insurance?
That is not covered by insurance. And yeah, that's something that I do have to pay out of pocket.
Okay. At the emergency room, did you receive a bill for your treatment there?
Yes, I did.
How much is that bill?
That bill was $4,108.
Okay. And is that also something that you'll have to pay directly yourself?
Yes.
You had dental work performed?
Yes.
I guess you had to have new teeth put in?
Correct.
How much was that?
Well, we couldn't afford it at the time. I had to have it financed. Through the finance charges, everything was $8,100 and some change. And that's been paid in cash. So several years ago it happened, and we made all the payments, and then that's what it totaled out to, is $8,100 and some change.
Okay. Did you have to have further work done at like a crown or something put in?
Yes, there was a fourth tooth that was damaged. It's getting a crown on April the 1st. That one has just been postponed just due to finances.
Do you have an estimate of how much that bill will be?
Yes, it's $1,400 and some change, $1,450.
Okay. And as far as your items that were taken during the robbery, you mentioned the generator. What type of generator was that?
It was a Generac generator.
Do you know how much it would cost to replace that generator? I guess first off, did you get it back from Mr. Cisneros or the police department?
No, we never got that back.
Okay. Do you know how much it would cost to replace that generator?
Yes, I do. It's $2,446.
Okay. Did you have any other medical expenses, like for prescriptions, first aid, etc.?
Yes, I've estimated Walgreens $180.
Your keys and your phone, did you ever recover those?
I recovered the phone was damaged, really beyond repair. And the keys had to be cut. I had to get a new set of keys, but then they were subsequently found. So.
Okay. And so by my math, that's about $17,959. Does that sound about accurate?
Right. Now, I think you may have left off one of the CAT scans from the side of my head injury.
Okay, yes, sir. Can you tell the court about that?
Well, that's sort of a new development where I was hit on the side of my head here. There's these, I'm having problems with that swelling. So I had to get a CAT scan done recently. I have to go back and get another CAT scan with a different type of CAT scan done. So those fees are mounting now. So recently I had a CAT scan done at Alon Family Health, and that was $3,600. Insurance did pay part of that, but it also drained our deductible that we pay into every month. We have to pay in, and it's pretty much drained everything that we had already put in. So I think it drained that cost about $2,200 out of pocket.
Okay, so about $2,200 for that, the CT scan. And that would bring the total to $20,159. Have there been long-lasting effects? I mean, it's been about, like was that 4 years. Are you still having effects from the assault and robbery that took place?
You know, I'll be honest with you, you know, to a degree, yes, you know.
Okay. You're still dealing with having to go through medical procedures, correct?
Correct.
What are you asking this court to do for Mr. Cisneros' case?
I'm asking the court to sentence him to jail.
And why do you feel that prison is appropriate in this situation?
Well, I think the punishment fits the crime, you know. This was an aggravated violent attack, you know, with a weapon.
Yes, sir. And pass the witness, Judge. Thank you, Mr. Newman.
Mr. Shares?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Newman, so you said you were at a work site at a house you were building, is that correct?
Correct.
And did you know Mr. Cisneros?
I've never met him before in my life.
Did you know his son, Samuel Cisneros?
Yes.
How did you know his son?
I hired him.
Okay.
He was a contractor.
And so you were, did you expect to see Mr. Samuel Cisneros there at the work site?
No. The father?
Samuel Cisneros.
That's the son.
Yes, sir.
Did I expect to see the son at the site? Yes. Okay.
And what was he supposed to be doing there for you?
His son is a tape and floater. He tapes and floats. He was referred to us by a supply house. We hired him. We met him several days before, and he had just started taping and floating inside a new residential home.
Okay. And was there, I guess, did y'all have some kind of a written contract for the work he did, or is it more of an oral contract?
Yeah, it was a written contract. No.
Okay.
But we had an agreement.
I'm sorry, go ahead. I thought you were
we
done.
had an agreement.
Okay. What was the, I know it's been a few years, but what was the arrangement? What was the, you know, what was he supposed to do and what were you supposed to pay him?
Well, the tape and floaters work by the sheet of a piece of sheetrock. So we'd estimated the number of pieces of sheetrock. There's a total there. It was probably $2,500, $2,700, something along those lines.
Okay. And was there a disagreement as to the fee? Were you satisfied with the work?
Yes. The young man that was working there, his work looked good. He was moving right along.
Okay.
So we had no objection to fees or costs or anything like that.
Okay. Did you guys have an argument at the work site?
No.
Did you have an argument with Mr. Cisneros, or I should say with Jose Cisneros or Samuel Cisneros?
No.
I know there's a language barrier, but was there an explanation as to why you were hit?
No. The father was on site, unbeknownst to me. We subsequently found where he was hacking away at an AC unit. Looked like he was there trying to rob something, take something, while his son was actually performing the work. That's I don't have any explanation as to why he was there. When I got to the side, I even asked the young man, I thought I heard some ask him, is anybody else there? He said, no. There was a second man downstairs that was working with him, but I asked, is there anybody else? He said, no.
Were there two, besides Samuel and Jose, were there two other individuals working on the property at the time?
There's one other man working with the young man.
I know it's been a few years. Do you recall telling the police there were two other individuals working in there?
No.
Okay. I have no further questions of this witness, Your Honor.
State?
No questions, Judge.
All right, is this witness excused or subject to recall?
I'm good with him being released, Your Honor.
Same.
All right, Mr. Newman, if you wish to remain, you can remain on the Zoom.
Okay, thank you.
All right, State, any other witnesses?
No other witnesses. State rest.
Defense?
Your Honor, I do want to call my client just briefly.
All right, Mr. Cisneros, could you unmute yourself, please? All right, and you need to raise your mask because there is something going on in this world called a pandemic. Now, could you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand. Could you state your name for the record, please?
José Luis Cisneros Zamora.
All right, defense.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Cisneros, on the day of the incident, what were you doing at the location of the work site?
Pues yo fui el que agarré el trabajo, o sea, el trabajo yo lo hago, ese es mi trabajo. Mi hijo nada más fue intérprete. El que hago el trabajo por años, ya tengo más de 20 años trabajando en eso, soy yo. Mi hijo nada más era un intérprete. O sea que es mentira de que él contrató a mi hijo y que el señor no sabía que yo estaba ahí, porque el que hacía el trabajo, el que enseñó a mi hijo a trabajar en eso soy yo. Ese es mi trabajo por más de 20 años y yo nunca he robado a nadie. Ni un dulce yo me robo. Es mentira lo que el señor dice que yo robé, pero yo no me dedico a eso. No me dedico a robar.
Hold on, Mr. Cisneros. I think you're saying way more than what I'm asking. The interpreter needs an opportunity to give you the question, get your answer, and then let us know what you're saying. So let me just start again. What were you doing at the work site that day?
Trabajando.
I can't hear the interpreter.
All right, if you'll select the English channel on your screen, Mr. Chares.
Let me do that here.
You see down at the bottom where it says more? Or do you see a little world?
Language interpretation?
Yes, you want to check English.
Okay. Mr. Cisneros, how long have you been working? What were you doing? What kind of work do you do and how long have you done it?
Teníamos ya más de 3 días trabajando ahí. unos 4 días. Que tenemos trabajando ahí.
Okay. And what kind of work does he do?
Tape and flow, drywall.
And how long has he been doing that as a career?
Ya más de 20 años. 20 años. 20 años.
Okay. And how old was your son at the time of the incident?
Pues ahorita tiene 25 menos 3, tenía como 22. ¿no?
Okay. And is it your business that was hired to do this work?
Sí,
And was your son working for you?
sí, así es. Ujú.
And you were hired by Mr. Newman to do this tape and float work at the house?
Así es. Ujú.
So at the time of this incident, you and your son were both there to work.
Así es. Ajá. Sí.
And were you trying to steal anything or do anything to any kind of
No, nunca he robado. Ok. No, no me dedico a robar.
your son speaks English and Spanish, is that correct?
Así es.
And did he have a conversation with Mr. Newman that day?
Sí, sí, estaban platicando, estaban hablando.
Okay, and what was I know you don't speak English, but what was the conversation about?
Cuando pasó el incidente, ellos estaban discutiendo, el hombre lo atacó, el señor lo atacó a mi hijo y por eso fue que yo me enojé. El hombre lo atacó. Por eso fue que yo me enojé. Por eso fue que yo me enojé. Por eso fue que yo le pegué al señor.
Do you know what they were arguing about?
Sobre el trabajo, sobre el acuerdo que hubo del pago y del trabajo que se iba a realizar. Estaban hablando del trabajo.
And you said you guys had been working there 3 days. How far along were you as far as the project goes?
Ese trabajo lo hacíamos regularmente en una semana. Una semana hacemos una casa de ese tamaño en 5 días.
So you were you 3 days into a 5 or a 7-day work week?
Sí, trabajamos en esa casa. Sí, teníamos de 3 días.
Okay, so the work wasn't quite done?
No, faltaban 2 días. 2 días.
Okay, so going back to the argument, there was I guess a disagreement as to the quality of the work, or what was the disagreement?
El acuerdo fue que el señor Foreman, no sé, la verdad, yo no sé por qué. Ellos estaban discutiendo por el dinero, por el trabajo, no sé por qué pelearon, por qué se pelearon.
Okay. You mentioned something about the money and the job itself. What was that about?
El trabajo, driver, take and flow. Chihuahua, take and flow. Ese es mi trabajo.
Okay. And so this verbal argument turned into a physical altercation, right?
Sí, así es. Así fue. Le escucho.
Do you understand, or what, do you think you were justified in what you did?
No, 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 de ninguna manera. Yo nada más, lo que digo fue que pues, en ese momento me enojé.
Why did you, and you got upset because of what?
Yo me molesté porque el hombre se puso muy violento con mi hijo. Se puso muy violento con mi hijo, agrediendo a mi hijo. Y fue que me enojé yo con él.
Okay. I have no further questions, Your Honor.
State.
Mr. Cisneros, are you saying that the victim in this case, Harold Newman, physically assaulted your son?
No, no, no le pegó, simplemente estaban discutiendo fuerte, no, no le pegó.
Okay, so he didn't attack him, correct?
No, nomás lo verbalmente, fue verbalmente.
And isn't it correct that your son admitted to assaulting Mr. Newman because of some dispute over money?
No entiendo la pregunta.
Are you aware that your son admitted to assaulting Mr. Newman because of money that he said was owed?
No, no sabía yo. No creo que no.
Okay.
No lo agredió, porque lo agredí yo. No fue, mi hijo no lo agredió, que lo agredí yo. Yo fui el que lo agredí.
Well, have you had a chance to review the PSI with your attorney? Yes, Mr. Cisneros, have you reviewed the evidence with your attorney for this case? Okay. Are you aware of what the police report says happened? Okay. Well, if I were to tell you that the police report, as well as the PSI report, which was done by the probation officer, it states that, and let me read it to you directly. He stated that they were speaking to the victim in reference to the work being done by them, and that the victim agreed to pay them half of what was owed to them because before Christmas, and the other half upon completion of the work. He stated that that was the reason he assaulted him, because he had promised to pay them for the work that they had completed and he refused to pay them for anything. That's different than the version that you just said, that he attacked your son, correct?
Mire, como le digo, mi problema es que como yo no entiendo el idioma, yo no sé de qué ellos estaban discutiendo. Lo que sí le digo yo es que el hombre se puso muy violento y empezaron a discutir, y fue la manera de que yo me enojé. Por eso me enojé, porque mi hijo me dijo que
How did he
lo estaba
become violent?
agrediendo verbalmente o gritando, o sea, gritando nomás, gritando, hablando fuerte, agrediendo fuerte.
Okay, but not physically.
Verbalmente.
No further questions, Judge.
Defense.
Just briefly, Your Honor, Mr. Cisneros, you got upset because of this argument. What triggered you about the argument? Do you recall?
yo me sentí humillado de parte del Señor, y me sentí muy humillado cuando él empezó a insultarme racialmente como mexicano que soy y que no hablaba el idioma de él y me empezó a agredir verbalmente y me sentí humillado, me humilló. Eso fue que yo lo ataqué a ti, me humilló, me sentí muy humillado, me sentí muy humillado.
Okay. Thank you. No further questions, Your Honor.
Anything else from the state of this witness?
No, just one question, Judge. Mr. Cisneros, how did you know that he was insulting you if you don't speak English?
Mi hijo me tradució lo que el Señor estaba diciendo y sí entiendo palabras, en inglés sí entiendo palabras insultantes hacia un mexicano, porque ya me las han hecho muchas veces, me han humillado muchas veces. Ese fue mi coraje, que me han humillado muchas veces por ser mexicano.
Okay. Had you or your son mentioned that to anyone prior to you saying that today? Yes, sir. Yeah, sorry, yes, ma'am. Have you or your son represented that that's what happened to anyone prior to you saying that today?
Sí, eso no estoy diciendo la verdad.
Who did you tell? Okay. No other questions, Judge.
All right, defense, call your next witness.
I'd like to briefly call Blanca Cisneros. I believe she's on.
All right, Blanca Cisneros, where are you?
Yes, ma'am.
Could you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand if you could state your name for the record, please.
My name is Blanca Estela Cisneros.
All right, defense.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Cisneros, what's your relationship to Mr. Jose Cisneros?
I'm wife,
How long have you all been married?
28 years,
How many kids do you have?
5.
In this time that you've been married with your husband, has he ever been affiliated with a gang or anything like that?
No, sir.
Is he a violent person toward you?
No, sir.
To your knowledge, has he ever been arrested for assaulting someone before this incident?
No, sir.
And since this incident, has he ever assaulted anyone or been arrested for assaulting anyone?
No, sir.
How would you describe his typical demeanor?
How to describe? Honestly, sir, I can believe. I hear right now what happened, and I hear before with my son what happened, and I can believe it. I'm still in shock when I remember both told me what happened.
Okay, and your son Samuel, he acknowledged what happened to the police early on when they interrogated him, right?
Yes, sir.
And he doesn't deny that this happened.
No.
Were you present when he entered a plea, your son?
I'm sorry?
Were you present when your son entered a plea? When he went to court?
Yes.
Were you in the courtroom? Did you hear him take responsibility for what happened?
Yes, sir.
Did he ever deny doing it at any point, to your knowledge?
No.
And did he explain what had happened? What led to this incident? To the
I remember Samuel said they started argument because they paid They started working like 4 days, almost a week, and almost finished the job. And they tried to ask for
Judge,
down
I'll
payment.
object to relevance and hearsay.
That'll be sustained.
Do you, are you willing to support your husband if, in the event that the judge is willing to allow him to be on probation?
Yes, sir.
Do you all have a home?
Yes.
What do you expect that your husband will follow the rules?
Yes, sir.
And has your husband been a good family man?
Yes, sir.
Would you consider this to be out of character for him?
No.
Let me ask, I don't know if I phrased the question correctly. This action that he's charged with, is this typical for him?
No, sir. That's not atypical for him.
Thank you. No further questions of this witness, Your Honor.
State?
No questions, Judge.
All right, any other witnesses? Defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right, the court will hear an argument. State?
Judge, we are asking that you deny his application. You can see in the PSI that this isn't his first arrest. Yes, it's his first violent offense, but he's been arrested before for DWI twice. He's been given a chance on probation. It looks like that first time he didn't complete it successfully, and he picked up another DWI. So he's had chances with the criminal justice system before. In this situation, you heard testimony from the witness in this case that this Mr. Cisneros, the father, was the main culpable actor, and that he was the one who committed the assault, and he is the one who knocked out his teeth and held him down while the son tied him up. He denies taking anything, but the generator is missing, it's gone. Even in his testimony, the defendant's testimony today, he sort of glossed over the assault and the tying up. He just said that it got physical. So he's not really accepting responsibility for his actions. We don't think that based on the facts of this case, the nature of offense as it is, that probation would be appropriate for Mr. Cisneros. So we're asking that you deny his application.
Okay, and before I hear argument from the defense, did anyone receive or request the sentencing that was done on Mr. Cisneros' son, wherein the complainant testified?
No, Judge. I spoke to the prosecutors who handled that case and Mr. Newman also, but I did not get the transcript.
Your Honor, I don't have the transcript, but I know that his son got 10 years deferred.
Well, there's a reason why his son received 10 years deferred. So does anybody want the transcript from that hearing or no? Or do you wish to continue?
I'm good with continuing, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. I'll continue to hear argument then.
May I proceed, Your Honor?
Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor. The reason we're asking for deferred adjudication in this case, Your Honor, is yes, it's true that Mr. Cisneros has had issues with alcohol, and that's why he's willing to acknowledge that if the court were to give him probation and the court feels that he has to either drug test or do alcohol treatment or anything like that, that's something that would be necessary. As for drug treatment, I think the reason he had said that he doesn't think he needs it is because he's not had an issue with illicit drugs. So he's willing to drug test, of course, but he didn't feel that he needed treatment because he had never used drugs. So that was, I think, the reason that he was said to be not motivated to do drug treatment. Not that he wouldn't do it, not that he wouldn't drug test. It's just that he hadn't had issues with that in his life. he'd had issues with alcohol, but not with that particular situation. So that's the reason. Now, as to why he might do well on probation, yes, this is a very serious situation. This is a serious offense, and it's clear to my client and to me that if the court decided to incarcerate him, it wouldn't be anything out of the ordinary. But that having been said, this is an isolated incident. He had not had any kind of bar brawls or domestic violence or other incidents with other people that rose to an arrest or a charge or anything like that, or even since this incident occurred. The report, the PSI and the TAP kind of detailed that he's basically a family man. He's worked for a couple of decades doing the kind of work that he does. He's a family man. He doesn't run around getting into trouble. He does have a problem with alcohol, but that's not what we're here for. That's not what led to this incident. This was a very, very, very bad judgment on his part when there was a dispute over a contract. Does he regret it? He regrets it. Is he willing to pay restitution? He is. He hasn't had this situation before. He's had 2 misdemeanor DWIs a couple of years back. I think it was 2009 and 2011. But other than that, he's not a danger to society. The report indicates that he's low to moderate risk if he is given probation. If he is on probation, it's more likely than not that he would be able to pay this restitution as opposed to being incarcerated. I understand that Mr. Newman would want revenge. He would want something done. He would want him incarcerated. That's perfectly natural for him to feel that way. But justice isn't always just incarcerating somebody, especially somebody that has not been a violent person. We know that there's defendants that sometimes reach the age of 20 and they've had multiple violent incidents in their life. This is not a man that typically lives this way, this type of lifestyle. It's an isolated incident. There was some emotion involved. There was some racial tension. There was the outrage of, this contract dispute over this fee after they've been working on the property and then being told they're not going to get paid or they're going to get paid half what they agreed to. It doesn't excuse it and it doesn't justify it. It just simply explains what culminated and led to this incident. This is not something that's likely to ever happen again. And since he's never been in a situation where he's been in felony court for something like this, I think the court can grant him the opportunity to show the court that he's going to abide by the rules, be a law-abiding citizen. And of course, if he's not, the court always has the power to incarcerate him if he violates his probation.
All right,
So-
thank you. Is there anything else from the state?
No, Judge.
All right, Mr. Cisneros. Unmute yourself, please. All right, the court heard the case involving Mr. Cisneros' son, Samuel Cisneros, and the court gave his son deferred adjudication. At that hearing, if anyone wants to pull the transcripts, the complainant came to testify. The son admitted that he was the one who hit the complainant. In that hearing, the son stated, and on questioning from the court, the complainant did not want to answer the court. There was a contract oral contract between the complainant and the defendants. And it was to hang drywall. I asked the complainant at that time how much that contract was for. I asked the complainant at that time how much square footage were they supposed to drywall, and I asked the complainant whether or not he paid them. And the complainant did not want to answer. At that hearing, the defendant stated that yes, he hit the complainant, that he took the, what is it called? What is the item that he stole, that he took that because he calculated that that was the money that was owed to him and his father. At that time, the complainant stated that he actually hired the defendant and his son. So I am confused as to why now the complainant is stating different on the record, that he doesn't know this defendant and he never met this defendant. When according to the last hearing, this defendant was using his son as an interpreter. So these are questions that the court has. So I don't know if anyone wants to address that.
I'll partially address it, Judge, and then I can also call Mr. Newman again, if you would allow that. My understanding was that the money that was owed was not owed yet, and that came out during the testimony, was that at the time that they assaulted him and took his property, that the money wasn't due.
All right, this is what we will do so that everyone will know what was said at that hearing. Brenna?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you give them can you get the transcript for that hearing?
Yes.
Done.
Do we know what date that was?
I will have to look and see when that date was. But it was a short hearing. I believe the only witnesses that were called was the complainant and the defendant.
Yes, I think I remember that.
And if the court is wrong in my memory of the evidence that was heard at that hearing, then I will apologize. But what I do remember at that hearing, and we're not on the record, what I do remember at that hearing is the complainant would not ask any questions about what the contract was. He would not answer the court questions about what square footage that the defendants were supposed to be drywalling. He would not answer the question of what the contract was and whether or not he was supposed to pay them. He did not want to answer any of those questions. But what did happen in that hearing was the defendant's son is the one who said that he injured the defendant.
Wait a minute. Can anybody hear me?
You're Mr. Newman?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Just give us a moment.
Okay.
Judge, if the clerks will just pull the
Burnett was July 26, 2019.
All right, and Brenna, if you'll just see how long it would take for you to do that transcript for them so they can have it.
Okay, let me look into it right now.
All right, and then Marcus, you'll have a chance to talk to the complainant about the transcript, and Mr. Charles, you will have a chance to talk to your client about the transcript, because testimony was given in the co-defendant's case about this.
Albert, will you chat me your email address and I can.
Is that Miss Ferguson or is that Miss?
No, court reporter Brenna.
I'm sorry, what's your name?
Brenna.
She's
Brenna,
listed as Brenna, court reporter. So we're going to take a break from this so that Brenda can let you all know how long it will take her to get this. So just give us a moment. Who is the attorney for for Starks? Who's the attorney for Starks?
It'd be on Simpkins. Is he here, Judge? Christopher Simpkins?
No, he's not. And I do have the paperwork on Small, Tellis, and Reyes. So everyone just give us a moment. And my understanding is Mr. Lott is coming through.
Can you send me the breakout room with Dustin Lott
Yes.
for me?
Yes, ma'am. Good morning.
Mr. Lott? I'm going to send you to a breakout room. If you'll go to breakout room number 1, and a clerk will meet you there.
Judge, I'll be right back.
How do you go
Thank
to the
you.
breakout room?
Do you see, are you on a phone?
Oh,
All right, everyone, just give us a moment for the court reporter.
Yes, third request for Mr. Vallejo to join me in a breakout room. I'm not sure if maybe he doesn't know to go in
Yes,
there
he
or
was
what.
in there. I've been moving you around. Mr. Vallejo,
Yes, ma'am.
you need to go to breakout room number 2.
I'm not sure how to get in there right now.
Do you see at the bottom of the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you see more or anything that has breakout rooms on it?
I see more.
Do you see anything that says breakout room?
Yeah,
Click on that.
I got it right here.
And Mr. Butler, I'll be right with you as soon as the court reporter is ready. Mr. Nahara, you're here?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm on an off docket issue, unfortunately, that I'm approaching you on. My client, Gavino Vara, I don't know if you want to grab the case file. I can give you the case, Judge, because it's not on the docket today.
All right, just give me a moment. I'm going to send you to a breakout room with the clerk.
Awesome. Okay, thank you,
And
Judge.
they'll, if you can tell them what it is.
I will. Thank you so much, Judge.
All right, Bud Ridenour, what is happening with your client?
Yes, Judge, we've conferred. I have CPS records that I have to review. They had, you recall, their offices were flooded, but I have an appointment for tomorrow at 10 o'clock to go to the DA's office. I may have to take my own computer, but we will review the records tomorrow morning at 10. I will.
Okay,
My client is in the jail.
all right, let me just pull out a calendar, just 1 second. So when is your appointment to see the records?
10 o'clock tomorrow morning.
All right, Norma,
Yes, ma'am.
on Raymond Garcia, can you call this mid-April, please?
Yes, ma'am. Give me 1 second. We can do April 19th.
No, that's not good. I'm not going to be here. Can you do it like the end of April?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Wrong calendar, Judge. It would be April 16th.
All right, so April 16th, this is an old case. So April 16th is going to be the plea deadline date. And we'll see you and your client back on April 16th.
Thank you, Judge. May I be excused?
Yes, you're excused. And Norma, can you let them know that Mr. Garcia can go back? Did you need to speak with Mr. Garcia anymore?
I'd like to, Judge, if I may. I didn't get to talk to him before. He wasn't in
Sure.
early.
All right, Mr. Garcia, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 3. And Bud, when you finish speaking with him, if you have him come back to the main room so we can excuse him.
All right, Judge.
All right. All right, Brenda, are you ready or still looking?
I'm still looking, but I can go ahead and take this. I found it on the date. I'm just trying to get an estimate of how many pages it is.
Okay, if you can see how many pages it
Okay.
is. We'll wait for you. Dan Rodriguez,
Yes, Your Honor.
you are here for Sebastian Salazar.
Yes, Your Honor. And I've gotten a plea bargain offer from Marcus already. And I think my client wants to accept the plea bargain offer.
All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 6.
Okay.
And Mr. Salazar, if you can go to breakout room number 6, please. Yes, please.
I sent you a chat, Judge.
Okay, thank you. All right, Norma.
Yes, ma'am.
On this case, Brenda said she could have it completed by the end of the week. So will it be ready by Friday, Brenda, or?
Yeah, I can have it to him before Friday.
All right, can we recall this for Friday, Norma?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so I'm sorry, Ms. Abrams, would you let Mr. Cisneros know that we're coming back on Friday? Okay, we will see you all back on the 26th. All right, Norma, then Mr. Cisneros can go back.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I be released?
Yes, see you on Friday. And
Yes,
wait a
ma'am.
minute, does Brenna
Yeah.
have your email address?
He sent it to me. Let me write it down.
All right.
Sí, sí, escucho.
All right, then, Mr. Charis, you're excused.
Thank you, Your
Mr.
Honor.
Cisneros, you're excused. Ms.
Okay.
Abrams, thank you so much. You're
Okay.
awesome as always.
Thank you.
All right, have a good Monday.
Okay.
All right, Milton Butler,
Yes, Your Honor.
you had
Romaldo Martinez.
Deputy Laura, is there a Romaldo Martinez in the courtroom?
No, Your Honor.
All right, and he hasn't been on the Zoom screen. The issue with your client, this is a second violation report. Mr. Butler,
Yes.
pretrial services has been unable to contact your client. Have you had any contact with your client at all?
No, I was appointed eight days ago, and I called the number that came on the email, and the person that answered the phone said nobody by that name lived there. And I just got this morning an email saying that this case has been indicted and is set for trial on March 30th.
Okay, then what we'll do, Norma, we're gonna make sure this comes back on March 30th. And if Mr. Martinez doesn't show, then I'll make a ruling on the pretrial services violation. Do you have it listed as March 30th, Norma?
Yes, I do.
All right, so what we'll do, Mr. Butler, we'll come back on March 30th.
Okay.
All right, thank you. You're excused.
Thank you.
All right, could I see the parties on Richard Small? Where are the parties for Mr. Small?
I'm his lawyer, Judge. I'm ready.
Okay, who's the prosecutor on Mr. Small?
I dealt with Jordan today and Marcus previously.
Okay. All right, the court is calling 2020 CR 7001, State of Texas versus Richard Small. If we have parties announced for the record, please, for the state.
So,
For the
Adrian
defense.
Pettis for the defendant.
Are you Mr. Small?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Small, we're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objection from the state?
No objection.
Any objections from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Small, I'm showing you a document entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Next, I'm going to show you a document entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Richard Hunt Small who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2020 CR 7001 for the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, 1 gram to 4 grams, on November 24, 2020 for a period of 2 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
State?
Violated condition number 5 in San Patricio County, Texas. The defendant, Richard Hunt Small, did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of January 2021 in violation of condition number 5.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
State?
State would waive the remaining allegations.
Any objections to the state's waiver defense?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Small, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 5, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, not grant you community supervision, and sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 5?
Yes.
Court finds violation of condition number 5 true. Is there an agreement?
Yes, Judge. The agreed recommendation is to endorse probation's recommendation, specifically to deny the motion, continue on community supervision, to order a MIC-MIAF evaluation and that conditions be followed, and that he remain in Bexar County and provide proof of residence within 10 days.
Is that the agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Small, you want to explain to the court why you're not reporting?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I was having a difficulty with my family in San Patricia. I was born and raised in Bexar County. I'd like to stay here if possible, and I'd like to continue with probation. I'm sorry, it's the first time.
Okay, here's the thing. I need you to address my question. Because how old are you?
I'm 32.
All right, so don't give me this, I'm then having problems with my parents and I'm not from San Patricio County, because the only reason why your probation was transferred there is because you requested it. So let's start with why a grown man who's in his 30s, who knows he has to report, is not reporting. Let's start there.
No, there's no excuse, ma'am. I don't have any reason.
Do you want to go to prison?
No, ma'am.
Then you had better start reporting. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you have employment?
Not at the moment, no, ma'am.
Did you have employment when you were living with your parents?
That's my sister. Yes, I was working at Subway.
What is you were living with your sister?
Yes.
So what is were you having problems with your sister?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, maybe she's tired of supporting a grown man.
Yes, ma'am.
And how old is your sister?
35.
Yeah, she doesn't want to support a grown man. You need to support yourself. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And why are they requesting a MIC-MIAF evaluation?
I'm not too sure, ma'am. I got no idea.
Does anyone know?
I believe, Mr. Small, you're a veteran.
Yes, sir.
I believe there might be some mental issues related to military service, Judge, but I'm just speculating. It was
Judge,
probation.
I don't know the answer to that. Obviously, probation's done more evaluations than I have. basically he chose to be a homeless person and not report in San Antonio versus living in San Pat as he was supposed to. So I assume that they may suspect but not know, and they're trying to find out if there are mental health concerns.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. The court will deny the motion, alternate amend conditions for a mild evaluation while in custody. You to follow all recommendations of the mild. There's to be weekly reporting to probation by Zoom upon release until further notice. And there's a referral to Veterans Court, and you're to remain in custody for that evaluation as well. Is there anything else from either side?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Rebecca, were you able to get all of that?
Yes, ma'am. Just probation wants to know which one first, which evaluation first.
Do the McMouth evaluation first.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Small, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 4. Just wait there. Probation will be there shortly. And Adrian, if you'll go there, and Mr. Small, after probation goes over conditions with you, you're to come back to the main room and we'll excuse you there.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, who's the attorney? And Rebecca, I need you to stay in. Who's the attorney on Ryan Reyes? Ryan Reyes, who's the defense attorney?
Your Honor, that's Mark Darling. He's actually in a breakout room with Mr. Reyes right now. And his other client showed up. If maybe we could send him to the breakout room as well, Jacob Rodriguez to room 8.
Okay. Mr. Rodriguez, if you'll go to room number 8, please. All right, who's the attorney on Adrian Rocha Tellis?
Your Honor, that's me, Lauren Lefton, and he's in the courtroom under Sanios Galaxy, but he should be in here.
Okay.
Hi, it's me. Hello?
Yes.
We can hear
see
you, Adrian.
Okay.
Court is calling 2018 CR 12681 State of Texas versus Adrian Tellis. If I can have parties announced for the record, please, for the state.
Gordon Brown for the state.
For the defense.
Lauren Lefton for Mr. Tellis.
And are you Mr. Tellis?
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
No, ma'am.
You're not the state. Any objections from the state?
No, Judge.
No.
Any objections from the defense?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Tellis, I'm showing you a document entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Next, I'm going to show you a document entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Road Community Supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney, and did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Adrian Rocha Tellis who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2018 CR 12681 for the offense of unlawfully carrying a weapon on licensed premises on November 7, 2019 for a period of 2 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
State?
Violated condition number 5 in Atascosa County, Texas. The defendant, Adrian Rocha Tellis, did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer in person and or by mail for the months of March, April, and May 2020 in violation of condition number 5.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
State?
State waives the remaining allegations.
Any objections to the state's waivers?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Tellis, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 5, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, not grant you community supervision, and sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 5?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Court will find violation of condition number 5 true. Is there an agreement?
There is, Judge. Specifically, the agreement is to request that the court deny the motion to assess a 12-day jail sanction, which should be judgment satisfied if credit for time served is given as requested, that the BIP course be ordered in addition to his other conditions of community supervision, and that he remain, I guess, report to Bexar County and remain reporting to Bexar County for the duration of his community supervision.
Is that the agreement?
Yes, Your Honor, that's our understanding as well.
Mr. Tellis,
Yes, ma'am.
why have you not been reporting?
I think I reported maybe once or twice for 2 months, and coronavirus had struck, and I just totally forgot. It slipped my mind with everything going on, and
Oh, it slipped your mind with everything going on that you could go to prison for 10 years.
yes, I mean, it did not, of course, but I
think what ended up happening was you thought that people would forget about you, but you have a contract with that court, with the court. Do you understand?
yes, I do.
How old are you?
I am 26.
All right, so you're at the age where you know better. You know what you need to do and you need to do it. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
And is there a reason why? Because they're asking for BIP. Why would they be asking for BIP classes?
Your Honor, after conferring with the prosecutor, there is a sealed case that may be coming, but there has been no arrest or no information filed. So
Yes,
we just chose to be proactive about it.
Yes, I don't know whether or not that case will be filed or not, but after reviewing the police report, I felt the BIP would be a condition, an appropriate additional condition that could run concurrently if something does happen on that misdemeanor case, and even if the misdemeanor case is not filed, it would not be an undue burden on this defendant.
All right. And Mr. Tellis, what is your Zoom location? Where are you Zooming from?
From my home apartment from the north side of San Antonio, Marbach.
Have you started parenting classes?
No, ma'am, I have not.
All
Like I
right,
said,
yeah, that had better be started right away. Do you understand?
yes, ma'am, I do.
All right, I'm going to deny the motion, alternate amend conditions to include 12 days in the Bexar County Jail. I'll show that that judgment is satisfied. You're to start the BIPP course within 7 days.
Yes, ma'am.
You're going to be supervised in Bexar County. So you're not going to be supervised in Atascosa County anymore. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'm going to send you to a breakout room. Probation will meet you there. Just be patient.
Got it. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 4.
Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. May I be excused, Your Honor?
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right. Let me see if Mr. Ryan is here. Ryan Reyes.
Your Honor, they're still in the breakout room.
All right. Do you mind going there and telling him to come out with his client, please?
I will, yes.
Thank you. All right. Who's the person on Destin Lott?
I'm also on
Doug,
that.
Doug Capmeyer, hello.
If you give me 2 seconds, I'll run and get Mark and then I'll come back.
All right. Thank you.
Judge, this is Bud Rittenhour. Mr. Garcia and I are back as you requested to be excused from here.
Yes. Norma, could you let them know that he can be excused?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. You're welcome. James Anders, are you here for someone?
Yes, Your Honor. Actually, I had filed a motion to reinstate a bond from a possible FTA, and Norma set me for today.
All right. Who's your client?
The female's name is Callahan.
Is it criminal trial division?
It's a burglary of habitation by force but it's on an X, so I don't know if it's, I don't know where exactly that falls.
All right, this is what I'll do. Could someone confer with Mr. Anders? I'm going to send him to 1. He doesn't know if it's criminal trial division or not.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. All right, the court is calling 2021 CR 0819, State of Texas versus Dustin Lott. We're going to have parties announced for the record, please, for the state.
Alexandra Williamson.
For the defense.
Douglas Capmeyer.
All right, I know you, Mr. Lott. You need to unmute yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you
yes, Your
Mr.
Honor.
Lott?
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by the video because of the pandemic. Any objection from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Lott, I'm showing you a document entitled Defendants Consent to Appear by Video. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Court will
Your-
find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Next, I'm showing you what's entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication or Community Supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you electronically sign it?
yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, I'm showing you the acknowledgement of discovery. Have you received all the discovery in this case, and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Lott, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney, and did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on both counts?
No, Your Honor. We're proceeding on count 2 only.
Any objections to the waiver of count 1?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Lott, I'm going to show you a document entitled Court's Admonishment of Defendants, Waivers, and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
What you're charged with in count 2 is possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, 1 gram to 4 grams. That's a 3rd-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application of deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty, not grant you community supervision, and sentence you up to 2 years and after 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I do believe so.
Mr. Lott, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, no, Your Honor.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement?
No, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Next, I'm showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney, and did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea bargain agreement, the state is proceeding on count 2 only. There's a $1,500 fine. State recommends deferred adjudication. The state will take in consideration NIMAC numbers 578, 427, and 580, 359, and county court cause number 644147. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
We're not the attorney. We should be getting on.
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
Defense, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled Waiver of Appeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement. The state is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 4 years. There'll be a TAP evaluation, 120 hours of community service, restitution, and regular UAs. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then to count 2 in the indictment, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence to support the defendant's plea?
Yes, Your Honor, the state offers States Exhibit 1 and attachments.
Any objections?
No objections.
Mr. Lott, I'm going to show you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you have a chance to review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call them the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements, police reports, lab reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. The court will accept into evidence States Exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing States Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. However, the court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
We would like to, Your Honor.
Is there anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
That the client is now with his family and he seems to have a lot of support. And I think there has been a substantial change in his life, and we hope you follow the recommendation.
All right, Mr. Lott, are you employed?
No, ma'am, Your Honor.
Why not?
Well, I'm in between. I'm searching for. I can't find a job right now, but I'm gonna be. Pretty soon, I'm gonna find one. Like.
When's the last time you had employment?
About 3 years ago.
So how have you been supporting yourself?
My mom's been helping me out, but I have little jobs in between here.
How old are you?
31.
Your mom should not have to financially support a grown man. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If anything, you should be financially supporting her at this age. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, if you're given a UA today, what are the results going to be? And no, before you answer, you are going to be drug tested today.
I'm gonna be clean.
All right, what's your drug of choice?
Marijuana.
And what else? It's more than marijuana. Who's talking to you to the side? Stop speaking to the other person to the side of you.
Yeah.
So other than marijuana, what else do you use?
Meth.
And when's the last time you used?
It's been a couple weeks ago.
All right. So there hasn't been that much change in his life, Mr. Kampmeyer.
No, I wasn't there. I'm sorry, Judge.
That's okay. So again, what are the results going to be when you're tested today? And you need to tell me the truth.
I'll be clean.
Okay.
Tell her.
Your mom seems to say that she wants you to tell me something.
Yeah.
No.
Say the truth.
No, she's.
Your mom wants you to tell me the truth. As I tell everybody else, tell the truth, shame the devil. So what are the results going to be?
Well, I might be dirty.
Okay. All right. Do you have any children?
No, ma'am.
All right. This is Mom. We're going to make sure that he gets a job and he gets clean and sober. Mr. Lott, if you don't get a job and get clean and sober, you're going to find yourself in prison. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Your mom loves you and she probably is not going to tell you this, but she's tired of supporting you financially. You understand? Get a job, straighten up, stop using drugs, get whatever help you need to be clean and sober. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I'm going to send you to 4 years deferred adjudication, a $1,500 fine that'll be probated. Take in consideration NIA bag number 578427, 580359, County Court Cause number 644147, 120 hours of community service restitution. There's going to be proof of employment within 30 days. To save your mom the fee, because I know you don't have any money, to save her the cost of getting a UA for you, I'm going to have him referred to felony drug court. And if felony drug court is not available, Rebecca, because if they have a waiting list, then I want him in intensive outpatient treatment with probation. There's going to be weekly Zoom reporting until he's in treatment. Rebecca, is there anything else that he needs?
Was there a lab fee?
No, I'm not going to send him to the lab today.
No, for when he got arrested.
Thank you. $60 fee to Bexar County for laboratory testing. And don't you dare ask your mom to pay that. You need to pay it. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Is there anything else, Rebecca?
Did you say the regular drug test?
Yes. Do regular and random UAs. And I'm going to want field visits. And they should be random, but at least once a month. And Rebecca, make sure they help him find employment. Mr. Lott, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we can go off the record, Mr. Lott. There's something going on in this world. It's a pandemic, right? So do not put your mom in danger by going out and doing drugs, which is what you've been doing without a face mask on. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I'm going to send you to a breakout room. Probation will meet you there to go over your conditions. Just be patient.
Yes, Your Honor.
And I'm going to send you to breakout room number 4.
May I be excused, Your Honor?
Yes, you're excused.
Good luck, Mr. Stewart. Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Who's the attorney on Ryan Christopher? Ryan Christopher Reyes.
That's me, Judge. I believe we're ready.
Where is your client? Is Reyes in custody?
He is.
Yes.
All right. Court is calling 2016 CR 8868, State of Texas. Just one moment, Brenna. Is this one where you all going to be asking that he go be sentenced?
Yes.
All right. Rebecca?
Yes, ma'am.
You can go to breakout room number 4 then.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. All right, we're back on the record. The court is calling 2016 CR 8868, State of Texas versus Ryan Christopher Reyes. Could I have parties announced for the record, please, for the state?
Alexandra Williamson.
For the defense?
Darling.
All right, are you Mr. Reyes? Could you unmute for me, please?
Yes, ma'am, I'm Mr. Reyes.
All right, we're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state or the defense?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Reyes, I'm showing you a document entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor, I sure did.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Mr. Reyes, I'm going to show you a document entitled Motion to Revoke Community Supervision and a document entitled State's Motion to Supplement Motion to Revoke Probation. Did you have a chance to review those documents with your attorney and did you understand them?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor, I did.
Are you the same Ryan Christopher Reyes who was placed on community supervision in 2016 CR 8868 for the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1 gram to 4 grams on August 9th, 2017 for a period of 4 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
All right, state.
The defendant violated condition number 5 on or about the 6th day of October 2017 in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant, Ryan Christopher Reyes, did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer in person in violation of condition number 5.
How do you plead to that, true or not true?
That's true, ma'am.
State.
The state will waive all remaining allegations.
Any objections to the state's waivers?
No objection, Judge.
Mr. Reyes, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 5, the court could find it true, grant the motion, sentence you up to 4 years in prison and up to a $4,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do, Your Honor.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 5?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Court will find violation of condition number 5 true. Is there an agreement?
There is, Your Honor. We're asking for you to grant the state's motion, revoke the defendant's probation. And sentence him to 3 years.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
Yes. We're asking you to grant the state's motion, revoke the defendant's probation, and sentence him to 3 years TDC. The state will also take into
Time out.
Is it 3 years?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
The state will also take into consideration 2 cases, Night Mag number 604712 and County Court case number 656572.
Defense, is that the agreement?
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Reyes, could you unmute, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you asking the court to follow that agreement?
Yes, ma'am, I am, please.
Are you waiving your right to appeal?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, then, as previously stated, the court has found violation of condition number 5 true. The court will follow the agreement that has been reached, grant the motion, sentence you to 3 years in prison, take in consideration Night Mag number 604712, County Court cause number 656527, and give you credit for any time served.
And Your Honor, the County Court case number, I might have misspoken, is 656572.
I'm sorry, 656 what?
572.
Ah, okay, 656572. No, you
Yes.
said it correctly the first time. I think I reversed the numbers. Mr. Reyes, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor, I did.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor, I do.
And because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor, I do.
All right, Mr. Reyes, good luck to you. We're off the record. How old are you, Mr. Reyes?
Your Honor, I am 30 years old.
All right, Mr. Reyes, it's time to put the foolishness aside. It's time to be an adult. If you have a drug or alcohol problem, you can take care of it at the prison and take care of it when you get out. But if you continue to pick up charges, you're going to spend the rest of your life in prison. You're going to wake up one day, you're going to be 50 or 60 behind bars, wondering where your life has gone. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor, I sure do.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. All right, Norma, can you let them know that Mr. Reyes can go back?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, who is left? Mr. Nahara.
Yes, Your Honor. I don't know if you've received the documents on Mr. Gabi Novada.
Yes.
A
Do
warrant.
you know what number Mr. Reyes was? Was he 13C?
Oh, I'm sorry, Judge.
Mr. Reyes was,
And Mr.
I have no idea.
I think somebody deleted him before I was able to catch him.
No, he just left. All right, yes,
Just you call Nora Reyes. I'm sorry.
Yes, I got it.
just one moment. Mr. Nahara.
Okay, Judge. I'll try to sum it up as quickly as possible. I got a call early this morning, very, very early this morning, from my client's wife stating that unfortunately yesterday he had consumed alcohol, became intoxicated, got into a shouting match with his brother, and ended up cutting off his GPS monitor. He walked out of the home. He was out for over an hour, and then he came back, realized the magnitude of the mistake he had made, and attempted to go and get a new monitor put on. At that point, it was too late. A warrant. They actually drove downtown to try to talk to Petral, but at that point, everything was shut down. So at this point, there is a warrant out for him. He's been revoked without bond by the magistrate court. I'm just here on the behalf of my client, just trying to make you aware of what happened. Obviously,
All right. Have you had a chance to confer with the state?
I have not, Judge.
All right, because of course, I'm not going to want to do anything until he's in custody.
Okay. Okay. Understood.
But let me see if someone's available. All right, so if you could wait for us in breakout room number 2.
Certainly, Judge. And
All
I think
right,
I've talked to Mr. Nisbet before.
All right, thank you. Tom, it's you. All right, Chris Simpkins.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm here for Ariana Starks.
Yes.
I believe she is in custody. I believe she was picked up over the weekend.
Yeah, she is. She's been waiting. Miss Starks, you need to wake up. All right, I'm gonna send you to breakout room with your attorney. I'll send you to breakout room number 3. Roger,
Yes, Your Honor.
who are you here for?
Nora Reyes. Nora Reyes had some difficulty earlier in the day, but she's here under MOTO space E. It's an MTR. Could we visit with somebody? It's pertaining, an underlying case was a drug charge. Could we visit with a great attorney, district attorney?
Well, they're all great.
Amen. Amen, Judge.
So you want a great one. I mean, they're all good.
About that. You need to talk to somebody else.
All right, I'm gonna send you, Roger, I'll send you to breakout room number 5 and a prosecutor will meet you there.
Great.
All right, Mark Darling, you're back?
Yes, Your Honor. I still have the issue of Jacob Rodriguez this morning on a motion to set bond. I have conferred with the state. We've got an agreed, well, it's not an agreed proposed amount, but she gave me her figure and I'd just like to make an argument for a lesser amount.
Okay, Mark, just give me 1 second because I see there's another case here. Just
Yes,
1
Judge.
second.
Yes.
All
thank
right, who's the attorney on Vallejo?
For the state, it's Joe Ray, and for the defense, it should be Mr. Perez, John Perez.
John Pettis, where are you? John Pettis? All right, we're just waiting on him. All right, Jorge Aristotelides, why are you here?
Yes, Your Honor. I am following up on a hearing we had a couple of weeks ago or so where you gave my client until today to find lodging. He received a deferred adjudication for indecency with a child. And as his condition, he was required to find lodging within 24 hours. You gave him until today to do that. He has collected a long list of attempts, and he has not been successful, Your Honor. So we're reporting back with you.
All right, so here's the thing. I'm going to put you in a breakout room. Family violence, prosecutor will meet you there and they can discuss the issue with you. But we're probably going to need to have a hearing with your client present. So
Yes, Your
I'll
Honor.
send you to breakout room number 6. And I believe the person who was working on this may have been David Martin, if he's still here.
It was Laura, Judge. I mean,
All
if he can't find lodging, I mean, that's a condition of probation issue.
Yeah. So I don't know if you
I don't
guys
know where
wanna-
he's, I mean, there's nothing I can do to help him.
I mean, except give him lodging.
Well, he ain't
Pick
living
up
with me.
collection, I don't know.
He can go to John Kuntz's house where everyone else goes, but he ain't coming to live with me.
John Kuntz, Jorge, so you know, John Kuntz always invites people to come live with him.
Well, Judge, on the issue, and it was not, I don't think it was Mr. Martin. It was another gentleman that I think stepped in at the time.
Okay, then this
just
is
for the hearing.
If you will be patient and wait patiently in breakout room 4, probation is there because I think probation does help with housing to find lodging.
I'm sorry, Judge.
I said, I'm going to see you to breakout room number 4. My understanding is that probation does help with lodging as far as giving you contact information for who they can speak to. So if you'll wait patiently in number 4 for me, please.
Okay, Judge.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, Miguel Nahara, you're back.
I am back, Judge. I've discussed it with the state. Obviously, they're not going to agree to any sort of reinstatement at this time. I will tell my client that he needs to turn himself in, and once he has, I'll file a motion to set a bond and ask Norma to set it on the docket, Judge.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Take care.
Sure. All right. James Anders. Chris Simpkins, what is happening with your client?
I just spoke with her. I'd been confirmed with Jordan Brown. She just got picked up over the weekend, so I just need to, if I could confer with the state, see if we can.
Okay. And everyone, we are taking our break at 12.
Your Honor, I'm back from a breakout room on Mr. Sebastian Salazar.
All right, just give me one moment. All right, Mr. Simpkins.
Yes, Your Honor.
If someone could meet Mr. Simpkins in room 2 at CTD. And then Dan Rodriguez, who was your client?
Sebastian Salazar.
All right, what is happening with Mr. Salazar?
Marcus and I have an agreement worked out. So I guess we just need to schedule it for a plea.
All right, Mr. Salazar, we can come back this afternoon.
Can we come back on Wednesday? I have things this afternoon, I'm sorry. He does want to, what Mr. Salazar would like to do is plead, and it's gonna be for time. And he would like to have his bond reinstated and turn himself in 30 days, if that, depending on what the parties.
All right, unless somebody gives me a good reason why his bond should be reinstated, that's not gonna happen.
Okay, can we do it on Wednesday? And what I'll do is I will file a motion to reinstate bond along with the plea paperwork.
All right, Norma, can you call Mr. Salazar for Wednesday for a plea?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Salazar, we're going to recall you for Wednesday, the 24th. That is your plea deadline date. After that day, the court will not accept any plea bargain agreements that are reached. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
All right, unless you have someone else with us, you're excused, Mr. Rodriguez.
Thank you, Judge. You have a nice day.
All right, you too. Bye-bye. Mr. Anders?
Yes, Judge.
Hi, you're here on Montoya Callahan?
Yes, Judge.
Have you conferred with the state on this violation report?
I haven't on the violation report, but we did speak about her situation and the cause of the violation report. I didn't specifically say the words violation report, but I spoke with Mr. Martin, and he said that he was that the state was unwilling to agree on anything in particular. So so we came back here.
Yeah, and Judge, she was a bond forfeiture after picking up the DWI. Let's see what date that was.
Is she
on
in
the
custody?
8th? She's
not in custody, Your Honor. I was looking to bring her in. There is an explanation for her missing on that date. New charge is the new charge.
Judge, I'm sorry to interrupt. That was Sean Dahl's client.
Correct. Right. That that's part of the explanation.
All right, well, here's the thing. She will need to present herself. Norma, let's recall this for this week, and then I'll make a decision on the violation report.
Okay. Can you come back tomorrow, Mr. Anderson?
I can.
Okay, just have her.
All right,
here.
your client needs to be here by Zoom or either in person.
I can do that. Okay, will I be receiving an email from Miss?
Yes, you'll receive a Zoom link.
I'll send it to you right now.
Perfect. Thank you very much. May
You're
I be
welcome.
excused, Your Honor?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, is there someone here on Mr. Vallejo?
Yes, Judge, I do apologize. I just had to step out for a second.
All right, who's the prosecutor on this?
Joe Ray.
All right, and after this, everyone, we're taking our break.
Judge, what time would you like me to come back from the break?
Just give me a moment, please. Court is calling 2019 CR 1727W, State of Texas versus Kevin Vallejo. Could I have parties announced for the record, please, for the state?
Joe Ray Garcia for the state.
For the defense?
John Pettis for defense.
And are you Mr. Vallejo?
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
No, Judge.
Any objections from the defense?
No, Judge.
Mr. Vallejo, I'm going to show you a document entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Next, I'm going to show you what's entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision, and state supplemental motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke revoke deferred adjudication. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Kevin Vallejo who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2019 CR 1727W for the offense of assault, family, choking, strangulation on March 13, 2019 for a period of 6 years?
That is correct.
All right, state.
On the supplemental motion to enter adjudication, violation of condition number 5, in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant, Kevin Vallejo, did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of November, December of 2019, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December of 2020, and January of 2021 in violation of condition number 5.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
State.
And the state waives the remaining allegations.
Any objections? Mr. Vallejo, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 5, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 5?
True.
No. Knowing what I've just told you, do you
Okay.
still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 5?
Can you explain it to me again?
All right. You understand that you pled true to violation of condition number 5, correct?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand by pleading true to that, I could find it true? Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that I could revoke your deferred adjudication? Do you understand that?
I understand that. Yes, I do.
Do you understand that I could send you to prison?
Yes, I do.
Do you understand that I could send you to prison for 10 years?
I do understand that.
Do you understand that I could sentence you to a $10,000 fine as well?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still want to plead true to violation of condition number 5?
I know I violated my probation.
Now, listen to my question.
Okay.
I just explained to you what can happen to you by pleading true to number 5. Did you understand that?
Yes.
And knowing what can happen to you, do you still want to plead true to number 5? Yes or no?
No, I guess.
Okay. All right. Defense, do you need to talk to your client? Mr. Vallejo?
Yes, ma'am.
You're going to go back to a breakout room with your attorney.
Okay.
Let me see. What breakout were you in, Mr. Perez?
I believe the last one we were in was 2.
All right. I'll see you to breakout room number 1.
I think I might.
John, you're back.
Yeah, so you have the same purpose for being here, duration.
All right, everybody, we're coming back at 1:30. So if your case is not on deck, you're coming back at 1:30.
Judge, I have a quick question.
Yes.
On Miss Nora Reyes, I think we've come to a conceptual concept where she may go to ISF if the judge rules in agreement with what we've done. And she's on Zoom right now. Are you requesting that maybe she come to the courthouse or?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So Nora, can you hear? So Nora, can you hear me? Wave.
Ms. Reyes, you need to come to 300 De La Rosa. It's the 187 District Court on the 4th floor.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We'll see you
All
back
right.
at 1:30, Your Honor.
We'll see you at 1:30. Thank you.
Judge asked me back at 1:30, but I've not had contact with my client today. I've contacted her by phone about 4 times.
Who's your client?
Brandy Lehman. This is going to be on a violation report, Judge.
Norma, is this on the docket today?
You did put it on, Judge.
I sent a new updated one to the clerks. They probably didn't give it to you, Judge. But
No,
I sent the violation report over.
Yeah, they didn't give it to me. Let me see if I can find it anywhere because I don't have it. Just give me a second.
I emailed it to you as well.
I know. I'm coming. I'm coming.
Norma, I don't have it in my email.
I'll resend it to you.
All right, thank you.
I just emailed it to you.
Okay, let me see if I get it.
You want me to just send it to the printer, Judge?
No, I'm printing it out.
Oh, okay. I thought you still hadn't received it.
All right, State, have you had a chance to review this violation report for Ms. Lehman?
I emailed it to them as well, Judge.
What kind of case is it, Judge? Is it CTD?
It's CTD.
I haven't, but I will look at it.
All right, Mr. Langlois,
Judge.
send you to breakout room number 6.
Okay.
A prosecutor will meet you there to talk about Miss Lehman.
All right, then I'll rejoin you this afternoon.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, are you ready on Mr. Vallejo?
Yes, Judge. We do apologize, a little confusion.
No problem. All right, we're back on the record in 2019 CR 1727W. Mr. Vallejo, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 5, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, and sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 5?
Yes, ma'am.
Court is finding violation of condition number 5 true. Is there an agreement?
Yes, Judge. The agreement is revocation, adjudication, a sentence term of 2 years TDC.
Is that the agreement, defense?
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Vallejo, are you asking that the court follow that agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you waiving your right to appeal?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, then. The court will find violation of condition number 5 true, grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you to 2 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. There should be no contact with Adelita, Adelita Rodriguez. Oh, I'm sorry, there was a no harmful or injurious contact. That was what was in the plea bargain agreement. Have you had contact with Adelita Rodriguez, Mr. Vallejo?
I'm not gonna lie. Yes, ma'am. I have contact with her.
Well, I would hope you wouldn't lie to me.
Yeah.
But State, do you have any objection? Because it appears in the plea bargain agreement that it was no harmful or injurious contact.
There's no objection, Judge. And from the court summary, I don't think there's, well, no reported issue involving that condition.
All right, there's a $1,500 fine. Time and money will run concurrent. All right, is there anything else with regards to sentencing from either side?
No, Your
Nothing for
Honor.
defense, Judge.
Mr. Vallejo, I'm showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a felony conviction, and also because this is an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Norman, could you let them know 14-0 can go back?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, with that, yes, you're excused.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, guys, we are taking our break. Brenna, we're gonna take a break at, well, close to 12. And I'll see everyone back this afternoon.